Good morning, everyone. I'm Neha, Ambassador of Change for GETI, that is Global Education and Training Institute, founded and conceptualized by Dr. Sunita Gandhi with the vision of disrupting the education movement as we know it. We also organize pre service and in service training for teachers so that they can actually spearhead this disruptive education movement. Under the same banner and with much enthusiasm, we also organize deep talks where we invite policymakers, educators, and various people from the education fraternity to discuss these various best practices with us. And today, I'm very honored and thrilled to have with us Dr. Mohammad Safdar, who is an ELT expert and holds over 26 years in the IELTS and the TEFL, in teaching IELTS and TEFL and training students in this regard. He is a global keynote speaker, a resource person, and he has conducted and attended various scores of ELT workshops and seminars within the country and abroad. And because of his rich experience and expertise, he has been awarded the honorary doctorate in ELT and applied linguistics from American University. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. A very warm welcome to you on this platform today.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a very nice introduction. May I start now?
Yes, sir. Before we start, sir will be talking about teaching techniques and innovations in the 21st century. And considering his experience, I think we have a lot to take. I am just adding your presentation, sir. We can begin now.
Thank you, Ms. Neha. Good morning to everyone. This is Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhatti from the Islamic University of Bahawalpur. First of all, I would like to thank the Global Education and Training Institute for providing me this chance to give a talk at this forum, and especially Ms. Neha Yadev for assisting me. So the topic of my talk is teaching techniques and innovations in 21st century. And under this umbrella, we will talk about all these keynote points. Respected audience, the objectives of the session are the attendees will be able to boost up their existing teaching skills, and they will also be able to make a difference between teaching techniques and innovations when it comes to their teaching and learning process. First, I would like to move towards its introduction. Actually, education is a shared commitment between dedicated teachers, motivated students, and enthusiastic parents with high expectations. New teaching techniques are changing the educational environments around the globe and driving better academic performance among students. 21st century teacher is expected to be able to look at his practice and adapt himself according to the needs of his students. Innovation in education encourages students and teachers to research, explore, and use all tools to do something new. It involves a different way to look into the problems and solving them. It also improves the education because it compels students to use higher level of thinking to solve complex problems. Actually, teaching is imparting instructions to the students in the classroom situation, a profession that teaches all other professions. It makes our life organized and disciplined. It is an interaction between the teacher and the taught. It is a creative profession, not a delivery system. Great teachers do pass not only the information, but also what great teachers do is mentor, stimulate, provoke, and engage. That is the X ray of successful teaching. Knowledge of the students, the teacher should have the knowledge about his students, and he should also engage them and motivate them and he should be a role model in front of his students, and he should have the judging eyes and evaluate their work and also review them. Teaching is basically concerned with the information, attitude, and the skill. According to Bloom's taxonomy, information comes under cognitive, while attitude comes under affective, and skill comes under psychomotor. And that is the cognitive domain: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So, knowledge and comprehension come under recall, while application and analysis come under interpretation, and synthesis and evaluation come under problem solving. Knowledge involves elementary skill of recalling and remembering some information, that is, event, names, places, dates, dates, terminology, classification, and the categories. While comprehension involves understanding and grasping information which is going to be given over there. It is necessitated processing of information, the translation, interpretation, and extrapolation. While application involves using something in a specific manner, it asks for close attention and effort. It emphasizes on creativity and novelty. While analysis involves the breaking down, separation of whole into its component parts, it is process of reasoning or thinking. In the simple form, that is the testing of elements, while higher form, it is determining the relationship between these elements. Synthesizes involves combining together the number of elements in order to form a coherent whole. The discovery of structure is an important part of the activity, production of a unique combination, and production of proposed set of action. While evaluation involves combination of all the previous five categories. It is concerned with making judgments about the value. For this purpose, some yardstick and a standard is required. It can be quantitative or qualitative, direct or indirect, subjective and objective. So, if we say that achieving this cognitive competency, it means our students can do all these things. A teacher is a compass that activates the magnets of curiosity, knowledge, and wisdom in the students. So he is a person who transforms his knowledge to the students, and he is a strong hammer, a profession all persons, a preacher, a lighthouse, and a groomer, the kingpin of teaching process, a facilitator and mentor. He is an education pathologist, psychologist, and a mentor. Here is the difference between the trained teachers and the untrained. Respected audience, the trained teachers are very costly, while the untrained cost more. The trained are fair and impartial, while untrained are biased. Trained are imaginative and stimulating, while untrained are dull and boring. The trained are sympathetic, while untrained are very bossy. The trained are constructive, while untrained are destructive. And I think the trained teachers are the motivators, but the untrained teachers are the skippers. I think the trained and the good teachers make good institutes, and good institutes make good teachers. These are some qualities of a good teacher. He should have the knowledge of his subject and the students. He should have a very unbiased personality. He should have good commitment towards his profession and the approach. He should have good communication skills to deliver, and he should have due respect towards his students. And he should also have his personal interest towards the teaching and the learning of the students. Great teachers help help the students to reach their goals. They are lifelong learners. They build the relationships. They are very friendly, but not the friends of the students. They provide opportunities for service to others. There are some reasons we love the teachers because they are always our second parents and they give the best advice and they always believe in you and always have a shoulder to cry on. Who is the student? Respected audience, he is a person, that person, one who seeks knowledge from his teachers and he has an inner thrill to learn. Basically, he is physically neat, mentally clean, and morally very strong. He is very hardworking, honest, regular, and punctual. He is the pride of the nation and crown of creation. These are some characteristics of the learners. They are the innovators, mindful, collaborators, seekers, challengers, connectors, balanced, critical thinkers, motivators, and the thoughtful. What is the classroom? Where the contact between the learner and the teacher occurs, and that is a place which plays very important role in education. That is a basically classroom is a self-created environment, and it should provide stress-free environment to the students to make learning easier. If you don't plan, the students will plan for you. That is a well-known maxim. So it reflects the need for the lesson planning. Lesson is a knowledge, knowing a thing, and the skill, knowing and doing, and attitude, which change their mental approach. Planning, the process of deciding in detail how to do something. If we want to go to the market, we have to make some planning where to go and what to buy. According to concise Oxford Dictionary, lesson planning means to make a design what you have to teach the learners. It is like a map, a detailed procedure for teaching, actually a plan of action, something that is personal, a written statement. It makes the teaching and learning process more effective. Effective teaching needs planning. Effective teaching and learning process is equal to learning time, quality of instruction, and students' engagement. How well they are engaged. These are some five E's of model. Is five E's model for the teaching. Engage your students, explore their potential, explain what you are teaching, elaborate, and then evaluate what you have taught. Importance of lesson planning according to teaching, teacher and students' point of view. From the teaching point of view, effective teaching doesn't mean just communicating the information, rather, it is something more than that. It is planning and imparting. So, in a well planned lesson, teaching becomes more interesting. According to the teacher's point of view, planning reveals teacher's personality. It is sound proof what a teacher has been doing in the class. It gives confidence to the teacher because he has full control over the subject. It saves a lot of time and provides the teacher more freedom in teaching. It can also be useful for the teacher in future planning. And from the student's point of view, if teaching is carried out according to a plan, learning becomes more effective and interesting. In a well planned lesson, students' participation is ensured. They become sleepless even at their homes. An unplanned lesson may lose their interest and put them to sleep even in the classroom. That is the syllabus scheme of work. There should be proper objectives, NWH questions, teacher activity, student activity, and then the assessment and the feedback. The dear audience, the objectives must be very smart. They should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. That is a WH question statement. Planning for whom? Definitely the learners. Planning for what? The syllabus. Planning for where? The classroom. Planning for when? The schedule. Planning for why? To achieve the objectives, which are very smart. Planning for how? Methods and the techniques. We can never overlook the importance of 4 P's format. The importance of 4 P's format. Preparation before the class. The teacher should prepare his lesson well. Presentation in front of the class. He should present it in a very good way. Practice during the class. He should involve the students to do its practice. Production after the class. The teacher should assign some home task and homework and other tasks to do its practice at their home. And then fifth one, I myself have added, that is the praying. I think that teachers' prayers pay a lot. If a teacher is going to pray for the success of students, then definitely the students will be successful. And a teacher's success basically lies in the student's success. So we, being a teacher, have to pray for the success of our very loving students. Curriculum. It has been derived from Latin word currere, which means to run. That is a fixed program of courses. That is the totality of all learning. It is a runway towards destination. That is a blueprint of school. In my point of view, curriculum is a tool in the hands of an artist. Definitely, he's a teacher to mold his material. The material is the student in his workshop. That definitely it is a classroom in the school. These are some components of curriculum: objectives, contents, teaching method, and then evaluation. These are some 21st century learning skills. Fundamental knowledge means to know the digital or ICT literacy, to know the core content or the knowledge, and to cross disciplinary knowledge. While meta knowledge is to act, creativity and innovation, problem solving and critical thinking, communication and collaboration. Humanistic knowledge means to value life skills, ethical and emotional awareness, and cultural competence. That is the 4 C's of education. 21st century learning skills have 4 C's, and there are 4 skills that students need in this fast paced digital world. That is a critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. Actually, nowadays we have to focus all these points because we have to make our students communicative, and they should have the competency over that. They, being a language teacher, I think we have to focus on their fluency and the accuracy. We, the teachers, should devise such sort of the activities which should be based on to give them some exposure to communicate, and in this way they learn just with playing. And how to teach innovations. Move from projects to project based learning and be innovative in yourself. Teach concepts, not the facts. Because for the facts, teaching, if you are the teacher is going to teach them the facts, he will be just, there will be a rod system. While giving the concept, there will be some his clarification of his concepts, and he will make learn rapidly. And distinguish concepts from critical information. Form teams, not the groups. Use thinking tools and make skills as important as knowledge, and use creative tools and reward discovery and make reflection part of the lesson. Before leaving, I would like to give you some, share with you people, some tips for becoming an ideal teacher. Always greet your students when you enter the class and also call them by their names. And provide them the opportunity to ask the questions turn by turn. Make the feedback from them during your teaching. Your behavior should remain good in the classroom. Organize the activities for the students. Determine the objectives of the topic. To what extent students remain relaxed in your class. Concentrate only on the relevant topic. Make self correction if it is needed. Be punctual and always plan your lesson, and maintain discipline in the class and enter the class with good preparation. Check the previous knowledge of your students and your voice should remain audible in the classroom. Always remain well dressed and neat because you are a role model for your students. Dress well and address well. It will create a very good impact on their minds, and they will definitely start take good interest in your teaching and the learning. Always answer students' questions and say goodbye to the students at the end of your lecture. And thanks for your patience, please. And any question? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that very wonderful and informative session. The audience seems to like it a lot because there's a lot of appreciative comments in the chat box. I can see that right now. You'll be able to see that once you have the recording.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you so
Thank
much
you.
for delving into that very interesting topic. But before we conclude, I would like to ask you a question. Since you mentioned that teachers should, evolve and should bring in new techniques into their classrooms, but
Yes.
at the same time, I think teachers are still, I wouldn't say stuck, but I think there is a bridge that has to be passed, from evolving from just using the chalk and talk method to using more innovative techniques. So what would be your take on advising teachers to grow mentally and to adapt to the various changes in the education sector and in the workplaces as well?
Thank you very much, Miss Neha, for your very nice question. Actually, due to this pandemic, you see, we have that moved from physical classroom to the online classes, and
Yes,
nowadays we are just using the blended learning and teaching. So I think
absolutely.
if the teacher is just going to use some techniques, innovative techniques like some use of aviates, multimedia, and some innovative material he should bring in the class. In this way, the students will be learning. They will show their personal interest to learn, and they will automatically be involved at the very outset. Actually, the problem lies with us. We people are not going to prepare. We come in the class, we enter the class without any preparation, and rather we are asking the students what we have to learn today. Definitely, the students are the students. So I was saying that if you don't plan, your students will plan you. So we have to plan
Absolutely.
our lesson. Yeah, they
Absolutely.
will think,
That's it.
yeah, they will say that this teacher is very absent minded, he's not well prepared, he's not taking interest in our teaching. So they will be planning differently. So we have to focus on their moral values to be upgraded, and as well as their learning should be improved.
Absolutely. That's a very wonderful thought, sir. And thank you so much for joining us today. But before we conclude, would you like to have any concluding thoughts for our teachers? Our audience is mostly from the education sector. So anything you would have for the new generation of teachers or teachers, who are in the education fraternity for a very long time? Because I think we all have to accept the change has arrived and we need to adapt to the change. So, from your own experience, would you like to have any advice for our teachers and students and parents as well?
Yes, ma'am. Because now we are living in a, we are the digital citizens right now.
Yes, sir.
We are living in a global village. So I
Yes,
think the teacher should keep himself abreast what is happening around him and what is happening in his field, because now globally we can learn a lot. We can, because continuous professional development courses, they are very necessary for the teachers to upgrade
absolutely.
their knowledge. I think upgraded and learner teachers can upgrade their students well. All the problems lies with us. Be very sorry to say, with being a teacher, we are not showing our personal interest within towards their learning, towards their teaching. I think teacher is a real father in my point of view,
Absolutely.
because we are the spiritual parents. We are the spiritual parents. We have to I think polish their spirituality. We have to make them a moral decorum, morality. They should have some moral values. They should be very
Absolutely.
neat, they should be very clean, and all these things can be inculcated if the teacher himself is a model of morality. If the teacher
Absolutely.
himself is not like that, he is very rough and tough, automatically he is giving such sort of the lot. So the student's lot is in the hands of the teachers. So being a teacher, we have to play our role well, and we have to give due respect to our students. And there is a triangle between the teacher, students, and the parents. There must be a proper linkages between these three. What do the parents do? They think that we have paid the fees, that's enough. We have sent the child to the school, that's enough. No, the teachers think such students are, I think that there is no behind them who may come and ask what is his performance, about his progress. So they take him for granted. The
Absolutely.
teacher, the parents should take interest, but show their personal interest. They must be involved. Whether they are so much busy, but they should get maximum time. They should give maximum time to their children and attachment with the students, with their teachers. So what sort of the feedback they are getting from the teacher, the parents should, if both are sitting, there will be a good personality, groomed
Absolutely.
personality of the child, instead of the
Absolutely.
parents are cut off and the students are enough. So this is my personal request, my dear colleagues and my dear parents and the students and the respected colleagues and the teachers. You should have a very sound relationship with the parents and then with the students. The students, a teacher must be a very good facilitator instead
Yeah.
of a teacher. He should try to
Absolutely.
facilitate his students through all the angles. Then automatically the students will be giving due respect to them.
That's
Thank
a
you.
very wonderful thought, sir. Because since students pick up on whoever is around them, and mostly parents and teachers are around them, so it's very important that parents and teachers also inculcate and echo the values that they want in their students as well. That's a very wonderful
Yes.
suggestion and a conclusion to a very interesting and informative session as well. Thank you so
So
much
nice.
for joining us this morning. Thank you so much, sir. And I think you have impressed the audience as well. I don't think the comments are stopping. Everyone is saying great knowledge, mashallah, mashallah. It was a great lecture. I think it was a very wonderful presentation. All in all, that is what I'm trying to say. Thank you so much for joining
So
us
nice.
this morning. Thank you, sir.
So nice of you, miss. So nice of you. Would love to come and join you again and again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. See you around again. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.